Hi, welcome to the Pelvi Biz podcast. Are you a pelvic health PT or OT struggling to start your own practice? This podcast helps pelvic health PTs and OTs get out of debt, gain the income they desire, be able to treat patients without insurance restraints, and learn how to create time freedom for yourself and your family. I'm your host, Dr. Kelly Alhoui, founder of Orthopelvic Physical Therapy, Pelvic Health Business Grower, and Pelvi Biz. Over the last 2 years, I went from a solo entrepreneur to a 7-person team and counting. I'm here to help provide a clear path to grow your pelvic health business as fast as possible so that you can gain the time freedom, decrease debt, increase income, and live the life that you desire. Before we get started today, make sure you click the link in our bio to grab your ticket for Pelvi Biz. Now let's get into today's episode. What's up, guys? Welcome to Pelvi Biz Podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Alhoui. Today, we're going to be talking about time management. It is something that we all struggle with. We all have a hard time trying to figure out where is our time and where is our energy going to go. So the number one thing when it comes to time management, I always say, audit your current situation. That's number one. So what I mean by that is, what are things, this is the number one here. What are things that are taking my time? I have to know that. That's number one. Number two, what isn't giving me energy? And is there something that I just don't like doing? Okay. Number three, who can do this? Number four, who can I hire to maybe do a task that I don't actually like? So those are the big questions that I ask myself when I start to feel overwhelmed, when I start to feel I don't have enough time in my day, that I start to feel like, man, how am I going to make all of the pieces of the puzzle keep working together and moving, along quickly. And so I have to audit first. You can't just say, oh, I'm just going to block this for self-care now. Like, it just typically doesn't work like that, because then something else falls by the wayside, and you have to audit what is the most important thing. So for me, especially going into 2023, I am getting any negative energy. I mean, I don't really have that many negative people around me anyways, because I've learned quickly to get them out of my life. So anyone that's negative, anything that's negative, the news, it's always negative. I don't watch the news. Any other spouses, family members, any employees, anyone that's negative, I try to quickly, as fast as I possibly can, get them out of my life, because they drag my energy down. And once my energy is down, then it feels like I can't do time management as well. So that's huge. Okay. So think about that. Is something dragging me down, and how can I get rid of it? If it is. If not, what's something that gives you energy? So if it gives me energy, let me think of an example. I actually love going and talking with people. For me, it gives me energy. For most people, it wears them out. But I love people. I love talking to people. So for me, I'm thinking, okay, in 2023, how can I go and talk with more people in bigger groups and really be a motivator for bigger groups. That's really what I want to be doing, because it gives me energy. So when it comes to time management, something that I don't want to be doing is cleaning my house or cooking. These are all self-care things, but cooking for myself or reading a book. These are things that I just don't like doing. So this is the next question. Who can I get to actually do those things that need to get done, like cleaning my house and cooking? Well, maybe your spouse can help you out with that. So mine helps me out with that. Maybe you hire someone. Maybe at that time you get a meal service to come on, because that's going to help you get 30 minutes back. And those 30 minutes, that adds up to 3 hours plus a week that you're getting back your time, because now you have this meal service. So then you have to look at, is that worth it? If I spend this amount of money on this meal service, is overall that worth my 3 hours back of my time? For me, yes, it is, because I value my time that much. So that's another question you have to ask yourself. What's your time worth? Literally, what is your time worth? Every single person right now that's listening to this should say, okay, my time per hour is this. Like for me, I used to charge $500 for consulting. Now I'm charging $700 for consulting an hour. So for me, my hourly time is $700. I want every single one of you to know what your hourly rate is and what is it worth to you. So if something is going to take up an hour of my time, it better be really, really worth it in the fact that I have to protect my own energy just because my own health. And trust me, I would love to talk to everyone and anyone because I love people and I just love helping people and talking people's ear off. But for my own health reasons, I actually have to monitor that and not just talk to anyone and everyone because that will take away my energy indirectly, because it can wear you down just trying to problem solve everyone's problems, right? So I just have to be protective of that. So what is your hourly rate? You got to figure that out. And what is it worth to you? Okay. So then what I like to do for time management is every single day, and I just got a laminar off of Amazon. I laminated this piece of paper and I have 3 columns. Okay. I have 2 because I don't have kids, but for those that have kids, you're going to have 3. I put business in one column, kids in one column, and then personal stuff in another column. And literally every single day I use this checklist with a dry erase marker. And personal stuff consists of eating breakfast, taking vitamins, pooping. Yes, pooping is on there. What else? Drinking my water. Did I drink like 3 gallons or 2? No, not 3 gallons. Sorry. 2-liter, water bottles a day. Did I do that? Did I overall do my tapping and meditation? Did I go for a walk? Those are all things that are on my personal. It's nothing crazy. Okay. It's just basic necessities that as you become an entrepreneur, sometimes, not everyone, but sometimes we start to lose sight of basic things because we're too busy trying to do the tasks that we need to do for business. And that's what's happened with me over the years, that I put myself aside and just focused more on the business aspect, and it just comes back to bite you in the butt. So, this to me helps balance. I don't really like the word balance because I don't ever believe you're going to have a balance of anything, but it helps prioritize, I should say, what is important to me for that day and breaks it down to where it's not so overwhelming and I can actually get stuff done and prove to myself that I can do whatever I set my mind to. I just got to make sure that I have 3 things on my list personally, 3 things on my list for the kids, and 3 things on the list for business that I actually get done to give me confidence to then move things forward in my whole life. Business and life, it all goes together. It doesn't separate out. So when I do business coaching, it's life coaching. It literally is life coaching. And yes, your business just grows because you actually change as a person. I know I'm tangenting, but just FYI. Then I have kids. Okay. So then kids in the column. And with kids, what are 3 things I need to do for the kids? Do we need to make them lunch? Do I need to go drop them off somewhere? Do I need to make sure all their homework's done? Depending on what age your kids are at. What is it? What are 3 things that I'm going to feel accomplished? Did I hang out with them for 3 hours, after school and read them a book? Whatever that may be. And then I have business. And business is where I put what are the most important things in business. So for me, like today, I needed to make a podcast. I needed to, do different trainings on the back-end systems that I have. So we're working on that. I need to send out emails. I need to post on social media. So I write all this stuff down, but I have allowed myself to say, if I only do 3 things from this list, I'm good. but I do 3 things in each column. So if you don't have kids, you would just have a business and personal column. If you have kids, you have a business, kids, and personal column. And again, they all go together. So if my personal life is crappy and someone's wearing me down in my personal life, well, guess what? That spills over to my business because I can't have the energy to deal with the sandbag in my personal life and then also try to then pump up my business when I have the sandbag over here holding me back. So they have to kind of align. The personal and business have to align, and the kids. So when it comes to, again, when you're talking about time management, I think everyone's time management is a little bit different, but that's what I do is what is important to me. I think that's the biggest question, because your thing that's important to you might be different than someone else's. And then figuring out if I can't do that because I don't have time. By the way, everyone uses that excuse, but we all have time. We have 24 hours in the freaking day. We all have time. It's like, well, also audit what you're doing that's not getting you to go anywhere or making positive impact in your life. So are you playing on social media at 6 a.m. in the morning when you wake up? Well, then maybe we need to take the phone away, until you go out for a walk, and then you can get the phone back. I mean, I literally have to do this for myself. Okay. Otherwise I will be thinking about all my mastermind peeps and what they're doing and talking to them at like 6 a.m. in the morning because I love people and I can't help it. Okay. But I've had to hide my phone because that wasn't serving me, and the fact that I was then sitting in bed till 8 o'clock in the morning from 6 to 8, just answering calls, doing this, doing that. Like, no, Kelly, get out of bed and go for a walk. Start doing your personal stuff. Okay? Because you got to take care of yourself before you start taking care of other people. For real. So if something isn't serving you, how can you get rid of that? And then once you get rid of that, let's say I got rid of that issue, okay? And then you're like, man, I still don't have time. I'm still running into a time issue with whatever task I'm trying to get done. Well, is there a way I can hire someone for this task, or hire this task out, or whatever it may be? Can I hire a VA, a virtual assistant? Can I hire an employee? Can I hire someone like, I hire many people in my personal life, a fitness coach, a health coach, a psychiatrist. I hire so many people to just help the engine keep going. So, is there a chef? Like, who else can help you do the things that I hate cooking. I absolutely hate cooking. It's like the worst for me because you have to follow directions and you have to like read the stuff. I hate reading and following directions. So, at one point we hired a chef, but then it got annoying because, it just was kind of annoying to take out the menu and all that kind of stuff. So now my husband does it because he actually loves cooking. He thinks it's relaxing and he likes that task. So now he's taken over that task. So is there, can you compromise with your spouse if you have one, or can you hire and get people to help you out? So personally, I've learned this, and it took me a long time because when I first started OrthoPelvic, it took me a whole year before I decided to hire, and I basically had enough patients for 2 caseloads of 2 full-time PTs. But I was so scared to hire because I used to look at it. My mindset was, well, if I pay someone, then that's less in my pocket. And, I'm losing out and I'm just, it's poor me. But the reality is if I actually pay someone to do something that I don't want to do, or pay someone to do something that they're good at and I'm not good at, we're going to get better outcomes. Everyone's going to be happy. I'm going to have my energy to do other things that I actually like doing, and it's a win-win situation. So, when it comes to time management, there's so much to be there. I mean, I can go on and on about this topic. There's so much to be said. Here's another, objection that I get a lot of times with business coaching. well, Kelly, I don't have time to go marketing because, I've got kids, and by the time we get that, everything done, it's 8:00 at night. I hear you. I get it. Like 100%. I don't believe that's not true. I believe that's true. But the reality is, okay, fine. If you only have 8:00 to 9:00, well then what can we do during that time period? You don't have to be out talking to people to be marketing. What are other things can you do, like talking to people on social media, connecting with lives, sending out emails, sending out text messages, sending out video chats with people? Like, how else can you market and not be in person? There's so many different ways. So when people will tell me, Kelly, I don't have time to do that. Yes, you do. It's just, you have to audit. How are you currently doing that? Is it working for you? And then overall, is this something that can be sustainable for you? And if it's not, then you should hire someone. Okay. So it breaks down to being really aware of your current situation and then building off of that, of what are the priorities, writing everything out in these 3 columns, like everything you can possibly think of that's on your to-do list, write it all out in these 3 columns: business, kids, and personal. And then laminate it, start to check the boxes, just do 3 a day in each column. And I'm telling you right there, if you do that, you're going to be like, holy crap, I thought I had no time, but now I'm actually getting this stuff done. And you'll start to be more efficient at your time because you're starting to audit your time. When you don't realize that you actually have all this time and you're not doing anything with that time, then how can you make a change? So that's why you got to figure out, where's your time going? That's the first thing. What are you doing? Make a list. Make a list of what you're doing. Are you doing the right things? So hopefully this helps with time management. I would really get on making a list of business. If you have kids, and personal, 3 columns, doing 3 things in each of those columns. It's a great tool to help you progress without feeling overwhelmed and getting your time back. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. Bye guys. If you are ready to change your life, click the link in the show notes to get your ticket to PelviBiz. Let's go.